All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Craig Harris back with some breaking news on the Xbox Scorpion as I have just came back from a nice salvo of adult libation of brew with a friend of mine that works at Samsung. I got a couple other things to go in on first. Hold on. All right. No, that was good. All right, so I've been cruising YouTube, listening to all this fanboy chatter, and it's just and it's bullshit. And what I have literally discovered is that this whole thing, the whole console thing, and I've been blocked by PlayStation fanboys and Xbox fanboys because they're both idiots. But what this whole thing has been about from the jump, from day one, has been about validation. And it didn't matter where these fanboys get their validation from. So they look at somebody who does a YouTube video as a personality. Okay, not a person, a personality. And if you get a YouTuber, and if he's got, 1,000, he or she's got 1,000, 5,000 subs, and they come right out and they say they don't like the Sony PlayStation, you have these PlayStation guys start going in on them. I mean, you can give them a whole bunch of reasons why you don't like it. The Sony guys won't like it. And it's extra ridiculous on the Xbox side. It is extra ridiculous. Hell, I found out today, and I didn't know this, I ordered this goddamn Xbox One S. It does not come with a 2.0 HDMI cable. I didn't know that. That's how they were able to keep part of the cost down, which is fine, but that's bullshit. I mean, it doesn't come with the cable. At least that's what I got told today. So that cable is going to cost $40-50. It comes with a 1080p cable, which is fine. I'm finally glad Microsoft is doing fucking 1080p. But damn, it doesn't come with a HDMI 2.0 cable, so I can't transmit an HDR signal unless I got the 2.0, not at 60 FPS or higher or a little bit lower. And the 1.4 HDMI cable that I have, it'll do it, but it's going to fuck up my frame rate. But you don't hear people. I mean, that's a legitimate complaint now. I'm saying that, and then some goddamn Xbox fanboy is going to be like, oh, well, what difference does it make? You're a Sony guy. I mean, I don't care about that shit. But you know what? They want validation, and this is what I mean by that. They always go in and say, well, IGN is biased against the Xbox. And then there's something called a Colin Moriarty. Colin Moriarty, something like that. He has an in for the Xbox. So let me tell you what this has always been about, folks. This has always been about, they feel, even though the Xbox had a piss poor launch. I mean, it had one of the worst launches in electronics history. Terrible. I mean, it was just as bad as the Sony Laserdisc launch. But the Xbox One, it launches, they literally feel that they will give you that. They'll say, yeah, it had a bad launch. They will say that. They will admit to that. Excuse me. But the same clowns turn around and they say that, well, Microsoft's made all these changes and the media, I'm talking about the gaming media, which I didn't even know existed, by the way. Because you buy what you buy. If you like it, you like it. That's all that matters. As long as you like it, who gives a shit? But the gaming media, meaning spots like, IGN and GameSpot and places like that, they go ahead and they feel that they haven't given the Xbox a second look. And it deserved a second look because they made all these changes. So let's just start at the launch. Microsoft launched a machine that was $100 more than its competitor, the Sony PlayStation 4, and it was $100 more expensive. And it was weaker. Which one are you going to go buy, folks? Forget about everything else. Which one are you going to go buy? You're going to go buy the PlayStation if you want a next generation console, and that's what both these consoles were dubbed, because they were taking advantage of anything at 720p that was considered, higher definition. It's just, and that's where Microsoft concentrated their machine at. They also concentrated more on apps and movies and things like that, Netflix and look, Microsoft had no way of knowing that the smart TVs, that's what they're called, the smart TVs are going to already have Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. Pandora, Spotify. I don't even know if Microsoft has that, but anyway, you get the picture. So they get caught with their pants down. And everybody goes out and buys a competing system. And because they bought the competing system, Sony ends up dominating the market. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, they sold like 41, 42 million consoles. Microsoft, even though they're up 1,000% at this point in Europe and in other places around the world, they still can't outsell the Sony system worldwide. I want you to think about that, folks. They put a little more power, 3 to 5% more power in this Xbox S. They put a UHD player in it, upscales things to 4K HDR. They still can't outsell the Sony product worldwide. Yes, they have outsold it the last 2 or 3 months in the United States, but that was expected. They knew it was going to do that. My point is that these guys are looking for validation. They're looking for validation through a bunch of different people. They're not man enough to stand up and just say, hey, look, I like it. I don't give a damn. Okay, do you think that because somebody on YouTube said that they did not like, I don't know, No Man's Sky, that didn't stop me from going and buying it and still enjoying it? I still haven't reached the center of the galaxy. And there's people that have just outright quit playing the game. And they dog the game out, they run it into the ground, and that's your right as a consumer. If you bought something and you don't like it, you have a right to complain about it, but that's not, I don't need that to validate what I like. And that's what these cats are doing. I mean, if you really follow what I'm saying, that's what makes the most sense. That's what it's always been about. So they look at these websites and, they get upset with places like Digital Foundry, which has been doing comparison videos for years. They look at those and they're like, oh, well, no matter what Microsoft does, they're going to always get the short stick. And it's because their console just isn't as powerful as the PlayStation 4. So, they get marketing deals and it's always going to sell better on the competing system because it looks and runs better. It looks and runs better. But they still are looking for these cats for validation. They just got upset last week or a week and a half ago because some developer at Respawn tweeted a picture on their private account of Titanfall, which has been a multi-plat game since its inception. They got upset over the guy tweeting a picture out of a PlayStation 4 version because they're upset that it's coming to the PlayStation 4. A majority of them are. Some of them would be like, like Kid Smooth, and shout out to Kid Smooth. There's no diss on him. He said they looked that game. He said about a year and a half ago that that game was going to come to the PlayStation 4. So now it's on every platform except for Nintendo. And so I just want you all to really think about that for a minute. Why do you feel people have tied what they buy? I mean, if you go out and you work a second job or something like that, and you're working hard and you want to buy one of these systems or both systems or none, you don't need a website to go and validate what you bought. You just don't. But they do. That's what you're up against in this whole fanboy thing. It doesn't matter to them that, and this is what I said to somebody today when we were out. I said, look, Sony could come out with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for everybody and a cure for cancer in the other hand, and these Xbox dudes are they're going to still go off. they're going to still go crazy. Even though the Xbox is not made in the United States. It's made like parts are made in China. I think parts are made in Central America. I think another part of it is made in Brazil. It is the concept of it. Yeah, it's an American concept. I think one of the lead programmers with Xbox One, he lives in Germany. I don't even think he's American. I think he's German. But you know, and I wanted to let you all chop that up and go with that, because to me it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The PlayStation 4 is more powerful. There's no debating that. The PlayStation 4 has a bigger GPU. Again, it's no debating that. The PlayStation 4 was $100 cheaper at launch. Again, there's no debating that. The Sony PlayStation has more games. More games. I'm not saying and because it has more games, that may be a deal seller for somebody. Like, oh, well, hey, look, I'm going to buy the one with more games. My son, my daughter, whatever, you know, will have more options to play. And for some people, they don't care about that. But it's just amazing what this thing turned into. Validation over a piece of plastic. Literally had a guy I heard on another podcast say, well, the fact that the Xbox S has a UHD player on it, we look at that as a badge of honor. That's a badge of pride for us. I mean, why the fuck are you tying what a system can and cannot do? No, never mind. Again, the Xbox S has the worst playing diode out of everything out there. Like I've said before, it's worse than the one on Philips. It is worse than the Philips one. But yet and still, it's a sense of pride, and they run with that. And when you get a group of people who don't listen to reason, and they go online and they find another group of people and they're looking for validation. So it doesn't matter if I come out and if somebody gives it to them, they're going to say, yeah, they're speaking for all of us. You know, I mean, these cats literally feel that the reason why the Xbox got outsold wasn't because it was underpowered, wasn't because it was overpriced, wasn't because it was a gigantic brick, you know, underneath your whatever, your entertainment center. It was because the media didn't come back and give it a second look. And the fact of the matter is that the reason why people didn't give it a second look is because this is electronics, baby. And once you hit the door, once your shit is out there on the shelf, once it's on the floor to go ahead and be bought, and you have to go ahead and start making a bunch of changes to it, that's not a good thing. Okay, if a car comes out and then a year later they are changing the car, changing the parts, it's getting recalled, yeah, you're not going to want that car for long. And people did not want this Xbox One. Now the Xbox S, again, I've got one on the way. That's a much nicer console. It's a much nicer console. But this bullshit of this validation that these cats have is just amazing. It is utterly amazing. And they're looking to YouTubers who think like them to go ahead and validate what they bought. That's what a child does. That's what a child does. Instead of just being happy with buying it. The validation is that you went to the store and you dropped coin on it and you're enjoying it. That's not enough for them. It's just one thing after another. So you're going to get a constant loop of bullshit out of both camps. And it's all bullshit. If Microsoft has what you're looking for, then go ahead and buy their system. I don't like the fact that the Xbox S doesn't come with a 2.0 cable, so how the hell are you going to get HDR with that? That's my point. That's a legitimate consumer complaint. But that doesn't mean the system is garbage. It just means you have to go out and spend some more money now. I was lucky I already had a 2.0 cable. So, but it's still disappointing. Now, let me move on. This is for you people who have Samsung TVs. All the Samsung TVs, I think everything, even the J series, the lower end J series, 6300s, they have HDR plus on. It's a software update. It will do HDR. It's just going to be at a lower level on the gambit scale, but you're going to still get the separation of your colors. Just it's not going to pop as nice. And if you're on a 40-inch screen, that's kind of what you may not be looking at it to pop out that much. It also has HDR plus mode. This is in your settings screen. You have HDR plus mode, you have gaming mode, and you have sports mode. Sports mode actually changes the way the game is broadcast through the sound. It sounds like you're getting a radio broadcast. So if you want that kind of sound with your football or basketball or baseball, nothing wrong with that. Go for it. It's actually pretty neat. Game mode actually, this is what I was told today by my friend who works at Samsung. He said that the gaming mode actually allows you to run games at 60 FPS. So this Skyrim that's coming out, I guess next week or week after next, is supposed to be 1080p 60. You're going to be able to run that game at 60 FPS with the Samsung TV, which I got to double check that, but that's what he told me. No reason for him to lie. He works at Best Buy. So, but that's actually pretty cool, but because you're getting that frame rate, some of the graphics may not pop. But hell, if you at 1080p, you may not mind it. You may want the 60. I mean, you may not. I mean, you're like me. I prefer 1080p 30 for a console. If it was a PC game, yeah, you want it to at least be at 60. I get when those guys are saying give us the 60 FPS. Now let me move on to the Scorpion news. Okay, so Microsoft has a Windows 10 event scheduled at the end of this month. I think it's October 27th or 28th. They allegedly are going to announce and show you some of the Scorpion. I've been able to see a little bit of it because a friend of mine does competitive gaming, and he was able to show me what it looks like and what it is going to have. And we now have what is going to be called a educated guess on the price. Here we go. The Xbox Scorpion is 16 to 18 inches long. It's a big baby. It's a big bastard. It's got a fat ass. It's got three, let me get my LeBron thing going. Not one, not two, but three 44 millimeter fans on it to keep it cool. It's going to be able to do, maybe not at launch, depending on the developers, 4K native gaming, which again, 4K, consumer 4K is 3860, 3840 by 2160p. It's going to have VR. Now, here's the sticking point. They are supposed to be working on their own VR because they don't own Oculus. Oculus is a different company. Microsoft doesn't get a whole lot of money when an Oculus thing sells. And the Oculus thing is not selling well right now in consumer. It's actually business-wise, business applications is doing actually pretty good. Now, for the price. Drums, please. Premium price, $649. Best guesstimate at this point, considering what it can and cannot do. As far as what the games are going to look like, because that's your next question, you're not going to be, at least at the beginning, the games are going to look extremely close to what they're doing on the Pro. At the beginning, you'll start seeing a little bit of separation. See, this is 2016. You'll start seeing some separation probably in mid-2019, which is, surprise, surprise, That's when Sony's supposed to release its new consoles between 18 and 19. Oh, and they have moved the release date of the Scorpion up to September of next year. That's now the hold date. So your hold date is September of 17. So you're still, oh, you know, you're 11 months away. That's Q4, folks, September. This Q4, they've moved it to the front of Q4 instead of the back of Q4. And they're going through with it. So we'll have to wait and see if they're able to hit it. But again, now the price, I can officially give you a pretty decent guess at $649. I heard $399 as well. I ain't believing $399, not based on what this thing can do. I'll give it, I'm saying $649, that's just a guesstimate, but it's allegedly going to have something close inside of it, like to a 1080, to 1070 or 1080, something like that. So it's pretty much a computer. It's going to have the Windows OS working on it, voice command, Bluetooth capable. It's a monster. It's everything that they say it's going to be. So we'll have to wait and see what it does, folks. But that is pretty much the end of this podcast. Please like and rate the podcast. Give me some feedback. That way I can make the channel a little bit better. I'm working on trying to put some music on here with me. So hopefully you like my breaking news music. And that took me some time to find. and some more stuff. Sony is not going to do a UHD Blu-ray player, at least not this year. And I don't know if you all know this, the top grossing movie around the planet this year so far has been was Captain America Civil War, and you can't even go buy that goddamn thing on UHD. So guess what, folks? I don't think the whole UHD physical thing is going to do as well as they thought. I do think 4K streaming is the future, and since that's the future, that's what Sony is going to do. And remember, Sony is the inventor of all that shit anyway, and they know where it's going to go. But that is pretty much wrapping up this video. Yeah, I gotta hit the HDR premium thing. Remember your Samsung TVs, gaming mode, supposed to get you up to 60 FPS, but that I need to go and confirm that with one more person, then I will come out and say, yes, confirmed. So again, that was pretty much it. That's all I got out of them today. PSVR launches tonight. It's already sold out. I did use that thing. My suggestion to you, if you put that headset on, you need to, once you take it off, close your eyes for 20 seconds and roll your eyes around in your head just to kind of let your body and brain know that give it a reset. When you close your eyes, you reset everything. So that's kind of the way I would do it. Again, have fun with it. It was actually pretty enjoyable. Decent price. I don't know if it's for me or not, but it wasn't bad. It was not bad. It comes with a lot of games you can demo to. But that's it, folks. I'm going to sign off here, and you all have a good, blessed evening. I am going to go ahead and watch a little more of this Luke Cage. Ooh-ah. Take it easy, guys. And shout out to the 27 subscribers I have. I appreciate it. My little community is growing. I appreciate you all hanging with me. And again, it's a work in progress. I appreciate you all growing with me and having a good time with me. And anybody wants to do a podcast out of those 27 that are there, just hit me up and I'll be happy to chop it up with you. We talk gaming, do politics. Speaking of politics, look at that Donald Trump just going out and grabbing people. What the hell's going on? But yeah, I'll do a little bit of everything, community-related issues. Just have a good time chopping it up with you. And take it easy, guys. Peace.